for my young people. Big Bill, Picasso. I used to sell crack in the trap. Now I make music at least 5,000 a track. Schedules collect dust in the shelf. I go in my cocoon and reinvent
I
myself.
used to watch your back, to pull out the dagger. I move too fast, coming up the ladder. Greedy and need, but I'm destined to change it. I made it, now I'm blessed. The next generation.
I see blue angels flying in the sky, and I'm reaching high. We keep on winning. I'm living my expectation. This is my presentation. To the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. I'm extraordinary, yeah, so ordinary. I live my life to the fullest. Why they wanna take it from me? I feel those dark and lonely nights. This is dedicated.
Finally, I can see, I can breathe, I believe. I was angry, alone, unhappy and cold, dragging my soul, agony road.
My mind's ahead of y'all, I perceive a future and ask for this gift. I see all these spirits every time that I look at the sky. And all the intervention in front of my eyes, for
I
real.
would swallow my problems, roll in the haze, smoke them away. Hoping today would just go away. Holding my faith, no, I won't let go till you open the
This is
gates.
for the youngsters. In the beginning of the future, you ain't gotta be a thug of a hustler. I leave an invitation so you can enter with me into the nation. I see blue angels flying in the sky, and I'm reaching high. We keep on winning. I'm living my expectation. This is my presentation. To the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. To the next generation. I'm extraordinary, yeah, so ordinary. I live my life to the fullest. Why they wanna take it from me? I feel those dark and lonely nights.
Purchase your track today.
Wholeness, sound check, microphone check, microphone check. Wholeness, sound check, microphone check, microphone check. Alright. Okay. Yes, I believe we are clear to go. Good afternoon, good evening, YouTube family. Today, you know, we could have come with the Vlad or V after night, you know what I mean? But we decided to share this message that we were supposed to do since yesterday, but we had a lot of other videos to edit and upload. So thank God we are now able to come and do just that. So before we begin, of course, we're gonna make this brief today. It is time for us to be grateful for all of the help and the support that we get from our community, from our society, and also, most importantly, firstly, something like this, we take our ancestors, you know, I mean, for having always having our backs and giving us this unconditional love where you see we don't know how to repay, and also you know, the protection that we get from our ancestors, whether we know uh, what we are protected from or not. But of course, we know for sure that we are indeed protected, beloved, and cherished. And to that we say we live for them and by them. We thank the Most High, we thank everyone, all the supporters, all the patrons on the new page Patreon, and also we urge everyone to also, you know, join us on Patreon because this is where the fun is gonna be, and YouTube will mostly be for you know, the podcast or something like that, because this is what we give back to our community, you see what I mean, and stuff like that. And we also thank YouTube for the platform, you know, I mean, where it allows us, you know, to share our uniqueness to our world. And also, one second. Also, with that being said, we wanted, after giving thanks to everyone, yes, also the Patreon page. Once you guys subscribe to VTV channel or VTV Studio on YouTube, you see the next thing is to go on the Patreon page and sign up there as well and join us there. Like we say, this is where you know, everything like the musical journey, artistic journey will take place, and YouTube will solely be for you know, the podcast and stuff like that, where you know, we share you know, our uniqueness and our wisdom to acquired with the beloved on YouTube. So the thing is, like, it is Tuesday night indeed. It was a very, you know, busy day a bit, you know, like a lot of business to take care of and stuff like that. You know, I mean, until we, you know, manifest this beautiful partner, you know, we will continue to be on our own in this and stuff like that, because you know, this is, unless you have that, you know, connection, then you know, it's where we at, it's a bit hard, you know, to fathom or to navigate or something like this with others. So um with that being said, we say wholeness, good evening to everyone. And today's topic, literally, is supposed to be simply, um, you know, what it is, meditation or something like that. We will not be meditating mainly, except that we will, you see, show, you know, like it works also for meditation, but it's mostly to show, like people ask us, like, how do you stay peaceful in the midst of chaos? Which is why we say, okay, we're gonna make this live about that, answering this question today, because this is a very important question indeed, because most people, you know, they would think it's about finding that serene place where it's only waterfalls and birds chirping and stuff like this, you know, I mean, so that they can find the inner peace. But I can remember there's this movie that does it best. It's an animated movie for children, also adult. I believe it's Kung Fu Panda, where the master Kung Fu Po, Kung Fu Panda, the Kung Fu Panda Po, the master, his master, was to teach him about inner peace. And then so what it is like but Poe is a badass, forgive my French. Poe is very hyper, is always moving, it's always in transit, really. So it's not an energy that you can really contain that easily. Um, and then the master, was trying to teach him in the piece, and he was like, in the piece, in the piece, in the piece. And the master, at the same time, once was in that same episode or series, the master was by the water, water flowing and birds chirping and stuff like this, trying to find inner peace and meditate and things like this. And then Paul was there, me disturbing, asking all sort of dumb questions. And then he got mad and stuff like this. And then he went to his master. The master went to his master and say, are you sure this is the Kung Fu Panda and stuff like this? The Kung Fu Master Panda, whatever the title is. They say, yes, it is. Why do you ask? He say, yeah, because it's not making much sense. It's none of his colleagues, get along with him. They think he's stupid and he's whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then now I'm trying to teach him in a piece or something like this. And then you see, and then he's not learning and he's so hyper and this and that, whatever. And then the master laugh, he said, you see, sometimes, when you want to teach the student and the student end up teaching you. So what it is now, it's you to be able to find peace while he's being nuisance next to you and stuff like that. So what it is, it's like, okay, that's when you can really tell that it is not something of our own, to be able to be in the midst of the storm and find your peace. So this is what this is gonna be about today. And this question is something that's been asked so many times that maybe this video will be the one I edit and find create the transcript, and then add both video and transcript attached to Amazon or something, like a little something, for just a couple of dollars or whatever. And also may be featured on the Patreon page for certain tiers and stuff like that. So yes, so with that, with that being said, so the master was like, okay, the master before, say, maybe this is what that is. You see, you need to, I don't really recall the exact words, but it was that. You see what I mean? So what it is like, what do I do myself? Like, to put it plainly, is that, ashe, 10, 10. Is that, it's just basically to know oneself. It all goes back to self, like we know. You see what I mean? It's to know oneself, and to literally, simply, once you know who you are, and then the equation between you, yourself, and I, or something like this, then it will be easy for you to, become the observer in the equation. You see what I mean? It's not all the time, especially in time for meditation, to identify with the mind. You see what I mean? It's better to be an observer of the mind. You see, and so sometimes you can even go as far back as the observer of the mind. You see what I mean? Unseen to the unseen. You feel me? And the deeper you go, or higher you go into this self, the more serene you will be. You see, and the more peaceful you will be, to the point of, zero self or something like that. So what it is, me myself, when I need to meditate, the first thing I do, is the comfortable position, which is always very good to do. And most of the time when I lay down to meditate, I fall asleep. That's why I only lay down when I need to sleep, or maybe if I have an injury or whatever. You see what I mean? That's when I will. But otherwise, I will take the lotus position or sitting position, whether on a chair or on the floor or something like that. You see what I mean? And then I will take the position, and then I will mostly go on my breathing, counting the breath and stuff like this, and focusing on the breath. But the main thing is that as you are getting into this position, you should expect the mind to start going crazy. You see what I mean? All sorts of questions, all sorts of discoveries and stuff like this. Something you've been with the remote, been hiding behind the couch for the whole time. You see what I mean? Been looking for it. You know what I mean? Like a needle in a haystack or something, and never found. But when you want to focus on your meditation, this is when, something is gonna come in your ear and whisper, remember the remote, maybe it's behind the couch, you see? And then there you go, smiling in your meditation. Of course it is your medication. You see, I mean, in your ear, and then you're smiling, and then you catch that thought. Once you catch that thought, it's literally like jumping on a boat and ride that wave. But the best you want to do is to just watch the waves go, which is the mind. You see what I mean? Let it go, let it do its thing, to let it be disturbed. You see what I mean? But at the same time, you just pay attention. And then when you don't pay attention to certain things more serious will come to mind. Like certain, like bills, or with the children doing in school, or being out of school, or something important is gonna come. All of that is to try to take your attention away, or your stillness away. So the best you gotta do is just stay still. That's all. And then what I do myself consciously is that I test myself. Like, you see, when people want the quiet place to achieve this, me, I purposely choose a park, or like a highly populated area, I mean, where many people are playing, enjoying, or whatever. Even in my home with the children running the mark or something like this, I would decide purposely to start meditating there, only to program myself and to test myself to see if I can find that peace within, regardless of what's going on around. It's very important to do that, because it's why, what's the point, like, of looking for that place? What if you in an area where you need to meditate, but you don't have that you know remote place to be, or as usual? That's why it's all the time it's running towards the storm. That may help. You see what I mean? Be in the eye of the storm. You see, so long as you don't jump into the vortex, you see, I mean, you will be okay. You see what I'm saying? And it's very important, to meditate, especially in these times of so-called quarantine or lockdown or whatever. You say, where we urge, or we advise all our subscribers and the people who listen to us to just take the time, because we understand the need to go back and jump back on the streets and be as usual. But at the same time, when you are someone who is living a life of philanthropy, and seriousness, and loving, and whatever it is, and community, and all of that, so you cannot expect anything wrong to come your way, because whatever you seed or you plant is what you harvest. You see what I mean? If you send out the energy of love and community and all of the good things to the universe, of course, the best that can happen is the same shall be returned. So, which is why we always tell we are confident in telling our subscribers, and those who follow us and stuff like this, and also our patrons, to just, take the moment for themselves. You see what I mean? And specifically, the only reason we understood that people could have been, disturbed, is to the point where, the government did not do its part, which is, providing the continuous flow of money to the people, that used to work and no longer be able to work due to the COVID-19 situation. But of course, thank God, they stood up to the plate, you stood their plate and then come forward and making sure that everyone gets exactly what they used to, even more, or something like this. They give as much as possible. So that should give us, the sentiment or the moment to just grab and then make the best of it. Because most of us are expecting, like so the people, who are, you know, doing business or teaching finance and stuff like this, they would say, do not come out of quarantine the same, meaning, find investment or learn a new trade or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Do certain things with yourself. And me, myself, being on the spiritual front or something like this, where this is what, we teach or whatever it is. So we would say that do not come out the same in a way that, be more serene, be more heart-centered, heart-led, or whatever it is. You see what I mean? Be like a butterfly version of yourself after you come out. See that quarantine time as a cocoon, you see what I mean? And then come out the butterfly. Because the stress of having to go to work to get that paycheck is lifted, where the time is given back to you for the time being. You have to make the best of it. And at the same time, the same paycheck or more is still getting to you. So meaning you have nothing to worry about except to make the best of that time. But of course, we come to realize that there are, it's not the way it is with some people and stuff like this, or with the majority of the people. Which is why we always say, like whether we want to say it or not, it is, what would I say? It is, always our fault in things. We always, whatever happens to us is it's the seeds that we plant forward or something like that. Why? Because you look at how the time, if certain people, such as myself and some others, are taking the time to make the best of it and, to evolve their consciousness and elevate their minds or something like this, so that they can come out a better human being or something, or at least a human being on the other side of this. But at the same time, some still find ways to be stressed and whatever it is. But we're not saying that to blame them, because we do understand. But just because you understand doesn't mean we cannot show that there is a better way to deal with things. You see what I mean? That's what we have to do or be for each other. Where we cannot see the light, we come and show that light to each other. You see what I mean? But of course, if the one receiving is a fool, they may get mad, but which is not personal. But if they are wise, they will thank you for having guided them or showing them the light or shown them the light. You see what I mean? Like people like myself, whenever somebody, help me, anyhow, you see what I mean? I would always thank them. You see, I'm being very much gratitude towards them or something like that, which is the best way to be, because like this, people will always love to help you. You see what I mean? So we cannot be the worst enemy of ourselves, you see. But that's what's going to happen if we do not learn, you see what I mean, to be more humane-like. You see what I'm saying? So to the people, that are stressed, and they tend to take that on their spouse and their children and stuff like this. So things like this happen, you see what I mean, due to a high level of stress or something like this, which is very understandable. You see, and to them we say you should seek to listen to certain voice, because when you keep your mind into the chase of something, or into finance here, finance there, listening to the billions of voices telling you what you should focus your energy on and stuff like this. Of course, we understand why that is and where that comes from. We all may need something, you see what I mean? But at the same time, the more we chase something, the more it runs from us. But when we stay still and then focus on what matters most, which is ourselves, our mental health, physical health, and spiritual health and stuff, and as we get that, then it shall be manifested on the outside of ourselves as well, in our environment. So most of the time we don't know how to go about life, and we did not, even myself, I did not have this type of guidance growing up. But of course I provided it to myself, thanks to the Most High, thanks to the ancestors, and those on my path who have ever guided me, whether it be a worm or human being or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Anything can teach something. So what it is like, we say to try to meditate. And then the sisters also, we understand that the sisters may really stress the men out. We understand the men somehow may be at home and then they don't have anything else to do and just play video games and stuff like this or whatever, and then the women are feeling stressful, they don't want that to become a habit, whatever. We understand many ways, many situations that can bring about the chaos and the fights and whatever it is in the homes. But at the same time, we have to understand each other. It's something that the men used to do and stuff like this. You just speak to him with due respect, you see what I mean, and like you care, like a mother would to a beloved son, you see, and then he will indeed listen and be like, okay, and then you show him the baby, let's go meditate a little bit, whatever it is. If you know he worries about finance, we say, okay, we don't want to worry about it much, so let's take the time, I mean, we meditate and elevate our consciousness so that we can, focus better, or, or something like that, those things, and then after you can go back to your game. You see what I mean? Everything starts, very modestly, you see, and then to the point where you may not even worry about that. And there's nothing wrong with playing a little video game anyway as a grown up. I know great men that play video games. You see what I mean? The thing is when you let it take over yourself, your being, your work or something like that. You see, but there's a reason why the sisters get mad at some point. We love them, we trust them, and we understand them. So it's just to, talk, like communicate with respect. But if you start it without respect, then it may go somewhere else. And men, they love their respect. They may feel the need to fight for it or whatever it is. So let's not provoke or something. And then let's just give each other respect, because there's nothing. What holds a relationship is the respect, the mutual respect, and mutual trust and communication and all of these keys. You see what I'm saying? So we hope that you do well in your homes, and we hope that the Most High help assist your mind into creating business ventures and opportunities for you and the family and stuff like this, so that to the point where that is no longer an issue for the family. You see what I mean? Because most of the time it is that bring the fight in the homes and stuff like that. But now we just gotta make the best of it. I understand, like, if we don't know the time and about ourselves spiritually and stuff like this, we can misuse the energies. But at the same time, if you have people like myself, people like all the great spiritual leaders that seek to remind us of our spiritual selves and stuff like this in journey, then of course we have no reason not to, listen and take advantage of that. You see what I'm saying? So what it is, it's like, as you can hear, I have music in the background for the time being. And at the same time, I must say the disclaimer that this music, jazz indeed, is only playing, for the enjoyment of the private home. It's not intended for sale or anything like this, except that this is a how-to or guide and stuff like this, with video, and this is just playing in the background with the family enjoying themselves and stuff like that. So thank you for that. So I feel the need, to take the singing bowl, Tibetan singing bowl, 432 hertz into 528 and stuff like that. You see, so that we can do a little meditation while we are here, since we are talking about it, right? What do you guys say? Sound good? Okay, so let me get the singing bowl, and we shall get back to this. Hold on. Okay, so we have that there. So now, yes, with that being said, So that's what it is. This is as simple as that, guys. It's just when you into the meditation, you see what I mean. You just you don't have to identify with the thoughts. It doesn't matter how personal the thought may be. You know what I mean, or whatever it may be. Maybe cheat on me, or God forbid, and what else? And who stole my money? God forbid, whatever, whatever. You see, there's no need. You see. So, what would I say? Okay, so let's start this because we get over that one. Okay. And try to lose yourself in the sound, because this is literally the sound of love. 432 hertz, harmoniously going through your center, helping you find the center of yourself, or the eye of the storm. As you hear this, you will hear all sorts of things and see all sorts of images in the mind. I need you to remain still and not to identify with any of the thoughts. Think of them, the thoughts, like the clouds in the sky in midday. You lift your head, there are clouds. You put your head down for a few minutes and lift again, all clouds are gone. What remains is the blue sky. So in this you are the blue sky. And the clouds are the thoughts that emerge from your mind. Like we say, your mind. It's your tool. It does not control you. You hear, you see, you observe, and you remain still. At first you may get a bit uncomfortable. You may feel a bit shaky. may feel a bit shaky because your mind is disturbed, looking for attention. But rest assured, if you stay focused on simply observing, there is at some point in the meditation, in the setting, that you will no longer feel as urged or agitated as before. And the more you remain in that state, the more empty you become. To the point where you may completely forget if you're even meditating, if you even exist even. And that would be the best place to be. The 0 point, where anything is possible. You do this every time you meditate. Don't worry about being good at it or not. Oh, I can't do it or whatever. Just do it. Every time you meditate. Try to at least do it 10 minutes every day. It doesn't matter what time. If you can take a time specific, that's good. But if any time during the day that you can, you know every day you do 10 minutes for yourself, to yourself. And once you do that, you will start getting acquainted to the point that it becomes a habit. And what a glorious habit to have. Okay? Such is a simple meditation. Always accompanying with a breathing exercise, however you breathe. You see? It's simple. You see? So that's what it is. Sometimes, it's hard for me to, when I close my eyes, I have the habit of closing my eye when I meditate. You see, I cannot see the ball properly, so it goes off on and off well, and the sound gets distorted. But it's all good, I believe. You see? So that is it, guys. So for the one who asked the question, how do you find peace in the midst of chaos? This is what it is. Which is why we always tell people run towards the storm. Why? Because it's better to be able to withstand a storm and not be in a storm than to be in a storm and not be able to withstand a storm. That's why it's always good, especially when it's safe to do so, to test ourselves, test our limitations and stuff like that, to see what we are capable of. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when we don't do it consciously or willingly, nature forces us to do it unwillingly. All right? So that's what it is, guys. I did not want to make this too long since it was based on a specific question. I hope this help or something. If anything, if this has helped you in any way, do the same for someone else. Share it. You see, and also if you have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to us because we're full of surprises. We always are doing something. Even when you don't see us live, we are working on other projects only to entertain you and stuff like this. So we want you to be on board with us, taking on the journey together. And as we develop, as we evolve, you will be glad that you did get on board. All right? So it's 10:35 now. There's a series, V After Dark or something like this we wanted to do. Or something where we joke around or something like this. But all the jokes kind of miss my mind today. But if anything, we may come back again and do this another time. So with that being said, family, we say wholeness, balance and harmonious vibration to all. We'll see you soon. All right? So thank you for watching.